Well, friends, it might actually be happening. And it might also be time to rethink, I guess, the general consensus on what a good running mate or vice presidential candidate should be or is. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Trump is officially on the campaign trail. It's been a while since we've seen peak Trump doing his campaign events, but as of right now, that's exactly what's going on. And the best part of Trump on the campaign trail as of right now is that it seems as though Trump is holding tryouts or auditions for his potential future running mate. You know, conventional wisdom would tell you that it's likely not going to be Vivek Ramaswamy for multiple reasons that we'll probably get into a little bit later, but in this political day and age, you really never know, and it seems as though Vivek might actually be the #1 contender right now. You heard that right, we might actually be getting a Trump-Vivek ticket. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that as Glenn Beck goes viral, discussing his conversation with Trump. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's first start off by dispelling the mainstream myth of a possible Nikki Haley vice president. Donald Trump addressed the media rumors.
She is not presidential timber. Now, when I say that, that probably means that she's not going to be chosen as a vice president. You know, you can go. No, you can go. You can go and you can say certain things. You know, I don't like them and blah, 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 and this. But when you say certain things, it sort of takes them out of play, right? I can't say she's not of the timber to be a vice, and then say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that I've picked. Do you understand? But that's the way it is, okay? Tell it like it is. Tell it like it is.
It seems as though that's not happening. I think that would be political seppuku if you went that route. But the Vivek route, well, that might actually be happening. Take a look at this clip.
Donald Trump called me and he said, any advice on who I should pick for vice president?
Oh, really?
Who do you think? Not that he's probably calling everyone.
But that's great that you're on that list.
And so he said, who do you think? And I said, I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but this is the day, I think it was the day he trashed Vivek. And I said, Vivek. And he said, why do you say that? He said, that's the #1 response from everybody I've asked that question. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, A, he can defend you. He's right in your pocket. And while you're defending this, he's watching your back defending this. I said, also, I think some of his ideas are really, really good. Yeah. He connects with the youth, which now the latest of 18 to 24-year-olds that voted for Biden, they're not voting for Biden, but they won't vote for Donald Trump yet. So you get that lower vote, the people that are excited about, hey, something fresh and different. And then in 2028, when you can no longer run, you continue for another 8 years, right? And you get the credit for bringing this new, fresh face in. I said, I just think you become legendary.
And what did he say to that?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Donald Trump in a conversation with Glenn Beck stated that the #1 name that keeps popping up in all of his conversations about who he should pick, time and time again, is Vivek. Now that is something that I have to admit, I don't think I was expecting. You know, conventional wisdom surrounding vice presidential picks, the logic tends to be pick somebody who's a little bit milquetoast, a little bit soft, isn't really going to steal the limelight. You know, I think a lot of people would probably suggest picking a woman, maybe to soften up the Trump image a little bit and appeal to female voters, but it seems as though the demand from the Trump crowd is Vivek. The thought process seems, screw it. You know, the vice president is more of a symbolic character than an actual relevant political figure. Well, maybe the thought process is now kind of shake that up and change it for good. Put 2 alpha dogs on the ticket, 2 absolute beasts, and change the definition of what a vice president is supposed to be, or meant to be. The alternative right now seems to be Elise Stefanik. Speaking of Trump holding auditions, it seems as though Elise Stefanik had her audition recently at the most recent Trump campaign event in New Hampshire.
I have been so proud to stand up for my district, for the American people in the toughest fights, whether it's holding those university presidents accountable, whether it's leading the charge against the sham impeachment part 1, holding Adam Schiff accountable, whether it's standing up for election integrity, whether it's defeating Liz Cheney to unify the Republican Party, whether it's being the first member of Congress to endorse President Trump. I know that the people are behind him. You know, and I know, and Joe Biden knows that Donald Trump is going to win this November. Let's get this done, New Hampshire. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless President Donald J. Trump.
Honestly, though, I don't think that clip is the best representation. I think this one from yesterday morning does her better justice.
And we need his strong leadership, especially when we compare it to the weak leadership of Joe Biden. What we do not need is what we've seen from Nikki Haley, who on the issue of election integrity has mimicked Democrat talking points, has betrayed Donald Trump and betrayed voters. We do not need someone who has bowed to China, selling off agricultural land to communist China when she was governor of South Carolina. And we do not need, especially in the live free or die state, someone who has voted to increase the gas tax, who did that as governor. President Trump stands strongly to lower taxes. So these are important issues. And as voters are made aware of these records, you're seeing the momentum is in support of Donald Trump. And I'm so excited to rally with volunteers today for Super Saturday in Manchester.
Right now, the conversation's about Elise Stefanik and Vivek Ramaswamy. We saw Vivek deliver his comments the other day. Let's just play it for the sake of comparing and contrasting.
We believe those ideals still exist. This man is going to be your next president to revive them. E pluribus unum. From many, one. And you know how we're doing it? We're doing it by speaking the truth at every step of the way. There are two genders in this country. Period. That is the truth. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism lifts us up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government in the United States, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution is the strongest and greatest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We fight for the truth.
And so we have two serious contenders here. The question right now is who? They're both freaking badass. Do you go with the fiery woman who tells it like it is, or the young political trailblazer bringing in entire new sets of voters? You know, that I think might be a hard decision to make. You know, my brain tells me that Vivek Ramaswamy is just the guy. He's the most impressive guy on the political scene right now. But then I worry about, I guess, what we could describe as the normie voter. You know, the kind of Republican voter or independent voter that gets wooed by a political candidate like Nikki Haley. I think those types of voters are petrified of a candidate like Vivek Ramaswamy and, of course, Donald Trump. Imagine them both on the ballot. Is that the right political calculation? I don't know, hard to say, although it probably would be the best outcome in the end. Could you imagine 4 years of Trump Ramaswamy taking on the media? So I guess the political calculus here is, do you go the Vivek route, possibly alienating scared milquetoast voters, or do you go the Elise Stefanik route, hopefully bringing in more female voters to the party? It's a hard decision to make. My perspective right now is, honestly, I don't think Trump can go wrong with either or. You know, fast forward from 2016 to 2024, one thing's for certain, I'm a whole lot more comfortable with the people that Donald Trump is surrounding himself with these days than I was back then. If the choice is between Mrs. Stefanik and Mr. Ramaswamy, at that point, just make a damn pick. As long as it isn't Mike Pence or Lindsey Graham or Nikki Haley, I'm pretty much good to go. The update is that it seems like Vivek Ramaswamy is climbing up to that #1 spot. Trump is confiding in people, and that's the name that keeps popping up. And I'd say Elise Stefanik is probably at the #2 spot. I think it's a head-to-head race between those two figures, and at this point, I'd say that's probably all but confirmed. I guess TLDR, get ready to watch leftist brains implode. Either option. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. And of course, on this video, let me know in the comment section, who do you like to see as Trump's running mate, whether it's Elise, Vivek, maybe Tim Scott, maybe Tucker Carlson, who knows? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one.